So I thought with the current state of affairs of what's going on in the overall crypto market, the fear that is out there, all the global conditions going on, that has just been prevalent in the news. The Federal Reserve here in the United States doing their thing, raising interest rates, the fear of government intervention involvement in crypto here in the United States, and kind of overall kind of what is going on with the State of the Union with crypto. I thought that it was relevant to talk to you guys about what you see on the screen. Some things not to do when the crypto market crashes. Now, are we in a full-blown bearish market scenario? I don't necessarily believe that. I think that we have continued pervasive bad news, but the market, does its thing. It's down. It bounces back up overall, and we've got Bitcoin, hovering now, like around the $35,000 range. And so I think what I wanted to do is just kind of say, hey, look, here's some ideas for those of you guys who follow my channel, some things not to do when the crypto market is in a really down, if you want to use the word crash, cool. But if you want to also use just, hey, when we're in kind of a bearish market, here's some things not to do. Okay. So again, you guys know me. It's kind of, we're going to cover this real quick, get in and get out. Use this information for what it's worth. Obviously, this is not investing advice. Here we go. Okay. So basically, like I've already said, we've had this kind of prevailing bad news situation going on. And this is one I've talked about in previous videos. Avoid checking prices hysterically. I like the word hysterically. Also, what this kind of says to me is avoid checking your portfolio all the time. If you're looking at it and it's just in the red day after day, it will A, stress you the hell out. It will B, lead you to potentially make some bad choices and bad decisions on an emotional and or hysterical level. That's why I think the word hysterical is really relevant. I see this a lot in my private group. I've got a lot of new investors coming into my private group, and I think they tend to be like, oh my God, the sky is falling and everything's gonna, we're all gonna die in the next 5 minutes. Okay. And I'm not oversimplifying it, or I'm not minimizing that emotional reaction. It's happened to me, guys. I get it. Okay. But my point to you is avoid checking your prices, avoid checking your account every 3 minutes, every 5 minutes. Get away from it. Put your phone down. Stop looking. It's red. It's bad right now, as an example. And also, I'm going to bring this back to investment strategy. Okay. If you have this mindset of when you got into a token or a coin like Ethereum or Cardano or in whatever, Solana or Shiba Inu, doesn't matter, insert token name here. Did you have an investing strategy when you got into it, i.e., hey, I want to make 40% on this, or I'm going to hold it for a year or 2 years, and whatever I make off that period of time is my profit, etc. There's different investing strategies. I've talked about those in previous videos, but my point to you is if you have a strategy in place. And you also, if you're a long-term investor, I buy it today and I'm going to hold it for a year or more, then these kind of negative situations that we're in right here, right now, shouldn't really stress you out so much. Don't misunderstand. It does stress you out. When you see red, okay? But if you have a long-term view, it does kind of tend to make it not as stressful, is my point. So that's number one. Avoid checking prices on your phone all the time and avoid checking them hysterically. I like that word, okay? Here we go. Don't panic sell because others are selling. I think that is something that's, again, very, very relevant. If you start to see prices going down, usually human nature tends to be like, oh my God, everybody else is getting off of this ship. I need to get off of this ship as well. There's this perception that the ship is on fire. Sorry for the dogs. With Shiba Inu dropping like it has, but oh, by the way, it's come back 40% in the last 30 hours or so. Avoid panic selling. I would also add into this, avoid emotional selling. You're emotional about it, like, oh my God, I got to get out. I'm very emotional. I'm very kind of hysterical, that word we used earlier. Don't panic sell because others are selling. Sorry for the dogs, but I'm going to keep going, guys. That's Raider. That's the male dog. Okay, and here you go. Never blindly buy the dip. I think that's relevant too. I do talk about buying the dip on my channel, but here's the thing. Don't just buy in because oh my God, I got to buy the dip. Well, how big is the dip? Is it a 10% dip? Is it a 20% dip? If you're following a token and you really do kind of know the price action of that token, you might go, you tend to kind of know levels. You tend to know like, hey, I know if it falls below this level, I might buy that. And that's another thing. Have a strategy. If you have dry powder, i.e. cash, dry cash on the side, if you will, that you're holding, maybe you've been watching Solana and you're like, hey man, if it drops below say $90, then I'm going to buy the dip. I'm going to buy it at that strike point, at that price, okay? But don't just blindly buy the dip. Kind of similar to, don't just blindly panic sell because every single other people are doing so as well. And I'm going to bring this home with one simple thing. Have a plan, okay? Be diversified. Be into different tokens, different cryptos. Don't just be into crypto. Be also into stocks and ETF funds and mutual funds and things like that. Bonds and things of that nature. Don't just be invested in one crypto. Be diversified across. Like I've talked about this a lot on my channel. Is that if you look at my portfolio, it is 60 to 65% of the holdings are in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then the rest, another 20% is in the holdings like Solana, Polkadot, Cardano, things of that nature, Phantom, things like that. Some metaverse plays in there, Sand, etc. And then I have about another 20% that I really hold back for more speculative stuff. Shiba Inu, Saitama, Clifford Inu, things like that, right? And to me, that's how I like to do it. That gives me a good diversified base, and also, it helps me to sleep better at night. Okay, so there's 3 things not to do when the market is in the bear position or when the market's crashing, if you will. All right, guys, take it easy. Thanks. Bye.